Hey guys, so today I've got a Block Dragon Burning Abyss test hand video. I'm going to go through a few test hands and then explain my thought process through the building of a board. If you've got any questions or any deck recommendations you want to see or anything you want to see change with this deck, just put them down in the comments below and then I'll answer them the best way I can see how. I'm also setting up a Discord server, so if any of you would like to join that, I'll see about getting a link put out to everyone. So let's just get into it. I've been shuffling for what feels like the past hour, so let's start off with the first hand. We'll do another cut. So we start off with a Tour Guide, Delosaurus, Graph, O-Line and Dockscaper. So we got Starting Extender, and we also put the only brick in the deck, and then a pseudo brick. This isn't nice to open in the hand, but it's still playable. I'd rather open Seer if I'm opening any of them, or the deck. Graph is the worst one to open. So first of all, we'll go normal summon Tour Guide, see if they got any hand traps. The way I like to play this deck is use my normal summon as the hand trap bait, because if you see Tour Guide and nothing else, your first instinct is just to hit as much as you can, as well as like a Mathman. I'd always go with Mathman first over a Second's Light, because I'd rather have that stopped, because it just, all I need is one extender off that Second's Light, or I'd rather have an Ash this instead of Ash something like Graph, where getting that Seer is essential, where getting the monster off of Tour Guide isn't. So we got Tour Guide, which is going to summon us. I'm going to say Rhino. And then go for Link 2 for a Cherubini. The Rhino's effect's going to trigger. We're going to send Sabers here. And the reason is we're going to put that Graph back into the deck off of Sabers, so we'll shuffle up quick. Sabers effect, put Graph to the top of the deck, summon it, and then use Cherubini's effect to send the Graph to grave, and then we're going to use Graph's effect to summon out the Seer. Then we are going to go into Dante here. Then we're going to use Effect of Dante, detached to Sabers in this case, because we have a guaranteed extender in hand. If you've got nothing to be guaranteed off of this, you can detach the Seer to bring back the Graph, which then you can have a Link 4 play or a Link 3 play. And that's only if you don't think that you can get that extender, or if you don't have a guaranteed extender in hand or in grave. So then you mill 3, so we'll mill with a Fossil Sea Archiver, and a Jackalope. The Archiver is going to come up pretty handy here. So what we can do is, so I'm going to say we're going to go Delosaurus, and let's go trigger our Archiver. And then I feel the best thing to do here is go into a Sayuja, just so I can cycle through more cards, because getting these two back in deck is quite needed at this point. So we'll do that. Normally I don't like going to Sayuja without the Block Dragon there, but I feel that it's kind of essential with this hand. So we're going to do Chanic 1 Sayuja, Chanic 2 Seer target Dante, Chanic 4 Dante target Seer. So add Seer back to hand. So we've got 3 targets to put back into the deck, so we can draw 4 cards for free basically. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, okay. That's actually perfect. Put them 3 back into the deck. Hydrolander is also alive. So first thing to do is Effect of Sayuja, summon the Ferret. Ferret effect, put back into deck to then summon out the Dockscaper you just put back, a Giant Rex, and then recover. So here I've had a recommendation from a friend of mine where you can make Nat Beast and a Barkion with these cards instead of using the Curious, which I was thinking about it, and it is a sound play. It's just the amount of space in the extra deck which we take up. I don't think it's the best idea in this situation. So on this summon, I'm going to go summon Hydrolander, and then we're going to make that Curious using these three. Yeah. So then we're going to summon Curious to this end zone here, effect a Curious to send Block Dragon from deck to grave. So send a block, and I'm going to mill 3. Give it another cut. And then mill a Reclusia, Foolish Burial, and another Block Dragon. Wish I sent something else now. Like they say, when it rains, it pours. So from here, we're gonna summon the Block Dragon by banishing. We're gonna go Rhino, Fossil Diner, and then probably the other Block Dragon. Summon that there. We can then go. Now this is actually a bit tricky because I need to get that. Oh, Sea Archive is also banished off of thing from before. I want to get one of these out, but I don't think there is a proper way to do so. Without wasting a Nat Beast. So in this situation, you have to make this decision now whether you want to go with Block Dragon, go for a Nat Beast play or the Fossil Donor play, depending on your matchup. Against things like Sky Strike, you want to go for the Nat Beast, of course, or a Pendulum deck, you want the Nat Beast. But you'd have to just try and scale your opponent, see what they are doing. If it's game 2 or game 3, you should know what you need. In most cases, it'll be the Fossil Diner, but I'm tempted to just go with Nat Beast play here. Then summons that out. That makes that. Yeah. I'm just going to go with Fossil Diner play because that's what I do in a tournament setup. Unless I get a mill off of Hydrolander, which is positive, where if I add back a Burning Abyss off of Dante and then I mill a Libic, that is a way to do it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make an IP using Dante and Block Dragon. So we'll Chanic 1, Block Dragon, Chanic 2, Dante. Dante is going to add back a Graph. And Block Dragon is going to search us 2 Gigantes. And then from here, we can go banish the Drex with Gigantes, summon out that, then Vex effect, bring that back. Then we can go overlay for a Abyss Dweller here. Then what we can do is we can go Avamax here. So then it protects it from battle, but then we're going to have a Dingirsu, so I don't think there's much positive with that. So I feel like the best thing to do here is to summon the Appaloosa. So like in my deck profile, I don't have the card still, so I'm just going to use these as proxies. They have the same arrows as the Appaloosa and Avamax respectively, it's just I don't have them at this moment in time. So that's a free material. Let's get the dice out. Then I'd say to go banish Sayuja. banish Dotscaper, and then Gelasaurus to bring back the Block Dragon. Then Dotscaper is going to trigger, so bring that back out. From here, we're going to use Hydralander's effect to mill through. So mill Gigantes, a Libic, and then a Gallus. So now, this is actually really good for us because that Libic is going to trigger, giving us a Graph. And I believe they're all different in the graveyard, but because of Block Dragon, we can go Hydralander, target Block Dragon, and then just have nothing happen. So then that's really strong for us. In this case, it might be an idea to go to pop Dotscaper because it's not needed in this hand right now. Yes, so what we're going to do is Hydralander's effect is going to pop the Dotscaper, where you after the mill. It's tricky with this. You could have brought it back and then linked off a Block Dragon with it and then went off that way, but there's nothing you can do there. So in this case, put it back in grave as another Earth. And then we're going to summon out a Tracker. And then we're going to overlay for the Leviair. The reason why the Graph doesn't die is because Libic negates its effect when it summons it, so for anyone to start saying YBA no die. Then from here we're going to go Block Dragon, overlay with Hydralander for Dingirsu. And then we're going to go Gigantes, banish the Gelasaurus, no, not Gelasaurus, Gallus. Then we're going to trigger Recover's effect, so we're going to pay 2k. Because we definitely use 5 or more monsters from the extract now, unless you're playing against True Draco where this won't be a play. Then we're going to Synchro for the Nat Beast, and then we're going to go Leviair effect, bring back that Fossil Diner. So now this is 3 monster negates, unlimited spell negates. Your opponent, neither player can special summon, block off for the graveyard from your opponent, and then the whole board can't be destroyed twice. By battle or by card effect. So this is full board, I guess. You can see how much power there is behind this deck, where something like this was made from a normal summon, or a starter and an extender, and then just good draws off of Saiyuja. So that was Test Town 1. Let's just reset and do another one. So here we go, just put things back in order. So if you want to see any other certain combos with this deck, I can theory some up and try and bring you a lot of fun ones where you can do crazy things like make the, what's it called? Naturi Exterior instead of a beast. But it means just a lot more steps, which isn't as consistent, but I can see if I can bring you that if you want. I can also see about getting a Beast, Barkion, Appaloosa, Dingirsu, Fossil Diner, which is very strong. And the only real card which absolutely breaks up board from the last test hand, there's 2, is Dark Ruinomore and Evenly Matched, where if I had the Barkion there, that would be mitigated by that. But let's see what Test Hand 2 gives us. We're on 14 minutes so far. We're doing okay for time. So give it a cut. So we open up a Mathman, a Tour Guide, a Gigantes, a Gizmek, and a Dotscaper. So this is one of the hands where you need your players to go through, where you can't be interrupted on your normal summon, which is a bit risky with how many hand traps you have going at the moment. But we can see about just doing as best we can with his hand, say if we wasn't playing for any hand traps. So we've got Tour Guide, effect. We're going to summon out that Rhino. Then basic plays here, go Cherubini. Rhino effect is going to send Graph, which is going to summon the Seer. Then from here, you can go, you can send the Sabres and then put a card you want in the graveyard back to the top of your deck, so one of these two. I'm going to say we're going to go, yeah, we're going to send Sabres. And then we're going to save this back for Gizmek. Then we're going to, we're going to do a quick shuffle and cut beforehand. Put that back. Make Verdante. Then, because we're with Gigantes, we're okay so that we can keep the Seer underneath Verdante. So we'll detach the Sabres. We're going to mill Gizmek, what we put back, for Danger Jackalope and a Gallus, which isn't the best mills here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go Gigantes. Don't know why I keep saying Gigasaurus. Banisher, Phoenix Rhino. So now this is the play which I was on about in my deck profile, where you have to go a different route of play. So we're going to summon the IP. Then we're going to go with guarantee target Seer, then Seer target Graph. So we'll summon Graph, add Seer back to hand. And then what we have here is a Cybus, a Fairy, and a Fiend, all dark, which makes it curious. And we're going to use Curious Effect to send that Block Dragon. And we're going to mill 3 cards on top. You have to remember that mill 3 because it is a mandatory, so just keep that in mind. So we mill a Nessie, a Tour Guide, and a Rex, which Rex here actually helps a lot. So what we're going to do is go summon Block Dragon by banishing the Rex, the Dotscaper from hand, and I'm going to go with a Gigantus. So now the Rex will trigger and the Dotscaper will trigger to summon both of them out. So now we've got your 4 materials for Sayuja. So now we go Chainik 1 Sayuja, Chainik 2 Block Dragon, add Fossil Dyna and a Gigantus. Then we're going to draw 4 and put 3 back. Oh. Let's hope for some decent mills here. Oh, draws. We're going to do a quick cut. Draw another Gigantes, a Mothman, a Gigasaurus, and another Mothman. So we're going to put back the Seer for sure. We don't need 2 Mothman. And actually see if there's put back the second Mothman as well. I'm trying to think, is there any way to extend further with this hand? And I don't think there is without using that Danger Mothman, which is quite risky because then we'll need a Leviair. So in that case, we could keep a Mothman, just for that security with the Sayuja play. So we can go Sayuja, summon out a Mothman, summon out Gigasaurus, and then make the Leviair that way. We can also keep 2 Gigantes for Dweller. So I'm trying to... If we hit any of the tuners off of a draw from Mothman, we can make a Nat Beast instead of a Dweller, which in my eyes is pretty good. Oh, let me think on this one. So, if you want to be very safe with play, you can put the back on Mothman, and then just hope if you hit your Fossil Dyna, you draw a level 3. If you hit the Gigasaurus, you're fine. Yeah, we're going to go with a risky play here. Put these 3 to the bottom of the deck. And then, to make sure we get that Dweller, we're going to just summon these two out by banishing 2 Earths. So we banish a Gallus, and we're going to banish that Darkscaper again. We're going to keep them out there because if we draw into a Recover or a Wielder, we can still make the Fossil Diner and Nat Beast. So we're going to go Mothman effect. So we're going to go 1 to 6. Oh, can't see that. 2. So we hit the Fossil Diner, summon out the Mothman, then we get to draw a card, and that's a Libic. So not the one we wanted. So now this is where we get punished from going riskier play, which means that we don't end on as great of a board. So what we can do is there's not much that I can do now, actually. That was a stupid play by my part. We used a Curious, so what we can do is we can make a Dingirsu. Does that do anything for us? Earths aren't the greatest at the moment, so we got 1, 2, got 2 in the graveyard. So I think the play here is to go Gillisaur special, link a Gigantes and a Gillisaurus off for a Ursa for the Earth Charmer. Then we're going to banish 3 Earths, summon out that Block Dragon, link the Sayuja and the Block Dragon for a link 2 of Phoenix now. We're going to link these 2 off for the Avamax. Then we'll make a, we'll summon the Block Dragon out one more time. So with this hand, I'm going to try and save that Giant Rex for next turn for more plays. So play is to make the Dweller now. Use the Dweller's effect on your turn, detach that Gigantes, to banish that Gigantes, Sayuja and Ursa, and then summon that Block Dragon. Then what we do is we got a Gizmeca Rochi, which we're going to banish 8. Oh, hit a tracker. Banish them 8, summon this, make a Dingirsu. And I guess that's it for this hand. We could have ended on that Fossil Diner field, but I was being stupid and trying to be risky with my plays, and it didn't pay off, which shows how much it depends on the pilot with this deck, where one mistake in a combo or any line of play can lead to a subpar board like this, where yes, Avamax is a bit of annoying to get to deal with, especially backed up with Dingirsu and a Dweller, but it's not as strong as the previous board, which was a Nat Beast, Fossil Diner, Dingirsu, Dweller, and a Appaloosa. So, like, you can see where I messed up, and you can learn from my mistakes before you start playing the deck properly. So we're at 24 minutes now. I think if we do it quick, we can get one more in before going too far over. Let me know how long you want the test hand videos, because I don't mind doing 35-minute onward videos going on to an hour with certain test hands, because with my previous test hand videos, I've been very in-depth with my theory behind it, I believe. So I've dragged on a bit, so I couldn't get too many in there. But if you guys want to see the in-depth theory behind them and my whole explanation for each play I take, put it down in the comments below. And we're going to get into our last test hand for today. So let's shuffle up. If we have a very subpar hand, I'll probably just reshuffle and do another hand, so I can show you certain plays with this. So we've got a Mathematician, Foolish Burial, Block Dragon, Rhino, and a Darkscaper. So I feel this hand's pretty decent. It doesn't die to the one interruption like the last hand did. We've got plenty of Earths in hand for Block Dragon, and we've got the Mathman. So we're going to go normal Mathman. We're going to send that O-Line. And then our O-Line is going to trigger, giving us a level 3 token. Then from there, we're going to go link these two off for a Cherubini. From here, we're going to use that Cherubini's effect, I think. Yeah. We're going to send that graph to summon that Seer. And then we're going to go Foolish Burial for actually no, this is the wrong way around to do it, but so what I'm going to do instead is activate Foolish Burial first to send the Archiver, and then Cherubini to send the graph, because then on the summon of Seer, Archiver will trigger, allow you to have your rank 3 play, so let's keep that in mind. So we're going to overlay for the Dante, and we're going to detach the Sea Archiver. The reason we detach Sea Archiver with this hand is we got the Guarantee Extender with Block Dragon, where we have enough Earths anyway, so no matter what, we got the play where we can push on for a Sayuja after this. So we're going to mill a Block Dragon, a Gigantes, and a Wielder. So on this, the best thing for your opponent the best thing for you right now is if your opponent wants DD Crow on your Block Dragon. So then that's a card out their hand, and they get rid of Interruption, and you still got a Block Dragon in the hand, which is very fun. And then the best thing about Block Dragon is it's a summoning condition, where as soon as you commit to summoning it, your opponent has to wait for something to happen. Where I've had it a few times where I go Block Dragon, they try and chain DD Crow to it, and then they have to decide something else in my graveyard, because I've already summoned this and I've activated DD Crow. Which, after seeing Distant Coder's video, I learned that that's not the case, but at the time I didn't know. So we're going to go Block Dragon effect for one engrave. We're going to banish the Gigantes, the Mathematician, and then the Darkscaper from hand to summon out the Block Dragon, and then the Darkscaper is going to trigger. Then we're going to put all these into a Sayuja Scoldred. Then we're going to go Channel 1 Sayuja, Channel 2 Block Dragon, Channel 3 Seer, Channel 4 Dante. So add back the Seer, summon the Dante, search for the 2 level 4s, and then we're going to draw 4 and put 3 back. So the reason you do it in this order is because you want your Sayuja to be the last thing to resolve, because then you can basically tailor your hand to whatever you want to do with it. So now I've got the 5 cards in hand, I have 9 cards to pick from, which is a lot better than searching this afterwards, because there'll be some hands where you just don't want this Gigantes and you want another card instead. So we summon the Dante with end column. So with this, we got a few plays we can make here. So the Libican Seer, I think it's going to go back for sure. And then probably the Rhino. Yeah, we're going to put the Rhino back as well. So from here, we can go Gallus effect to mill a card. It's a tour guide, so we burn your opponent for 600. Go tracker effects. I'm trying to think how we can best capitalize on this hand. Go Block Dragon, I guess. It all depends with this, because we can go summon that back, summon that. No, that doesn't do too much in that case. We did summon that properly, so we can summon this. No. So the route of play I'm thinking of here is to make a Curious to send a recover, which then we can have access to a Nat Beast. But in this situation, we'd have to sacrifice the Dingirsu, which I don't think is the right play, unless we can get a Avamax setup, which if we make the Curious, then yes, we got the Avamax play. So yeah, so I think that is the best way forward. So we've got Block Dragon and these two engrave. To banish them three for the Block Dragon in hand, we're going to make Curious using these three: a Beast, a Rock, and a Psychic. Summon a Curious over here. Then you're going to use Curious effect to send that recover. And then we're going to mill 3 cards. So we mill a Rhino, a Seer, and a Libic. So just the 3 cards we put back with Sahuja. So that Rhino is going to trigger now. So we can send that Sabers for an extra level 3, which is nice. Oh. Sleeves are still pretty new, haven't played at all, so they're very slippery. So after that, we've got recover, because we've used 5 monsters from the X deck, I believe. 1, 2, 3. No, we're 1 short actually. So in that case, we should go. We can go summon the Reclusia to Sahuja's Zone, link these 2 off for the IP, and then Dante is going to add back the Seer. Then we can make these 2 into the Avamax. Wait, there it is. Put it over there. Then we got the recover, summon out by paying 2k. Gigantes is going to banish an Earth. That's going to be the Rhino Warrior. So now we got the Naturia Beast. Then we got, oh, that's banishment, leaves the field. Then we should have, yeah, so we got banish 1, 2, 3 for Block Dragon. And then we got, we'll summon to Sahuja's Zone. And then we got to use Sahuja's effect to special summon the Fossadina from hand. So this is an okay board. It hasn't got too much interruption other than protection for the Fossadina, which is kind of good. And then we've got a Nat Beast on top, which is nice. We could have extended into different things where we could have made a Appaloosa Dingirsu Fossadina instead of a Nat Beast, but then it just depends on your matchups. So if we just roll it back a quick second, so that Block Dragon's still in the grave. So that was what we could have done. So put that back in there. That Gigantes is back on field. So got that Avamax here. So we'll put them back. So we'd have to go back quite a far way to make sure we get back to Girsu. But if we didn't banish the Spot Dragon and banish another card in hand, I believe, we can make it a different way. So what we can do here is go these two off for the High Firebracks instead. High Firebracks is going to get us a Wielder. Then we got the Saber's Engrave. We're going to trigger by putting the Seer back to the top of the deck. Then we got the Avamax here instead, summon the IP in the High Firebracks. We got a 2-meter Apollousa. And then we got the Blot Dragon Playsteel. Summon that. Oh no, you have to banish the Fossil Dino. So banish them to, and we'll keep the Gigantes Engrave. Then we can make the Leviair Dragon. And then Leviair can bring back the Fossil Dino. Which that is a different end board, so the Apollousa is on 2. So depending on your matchup, this might be better. Where having that 2 monster negates might be better than the spell negates. So again, tailor your end board to your opponent's deck and their sort of playstyle. If you know that they're spell heavy, keep the Nat Beast on field. If you know that your opponent doesn't play too many spells, play the Apollousa. Then we got battle protection for everything, basically, with the Avamax, and this is an Avamax summoned with IP, so it can't be destroyed by card effects as well. Blot Dragon's protecting your Fossil Dino by card effects, so this Fossil Dino can't be destroyed by battle and can't be destroyed by card effects now, because this is protecting it the whole field from battle. And you got 2 monster negates, and then yeah, like it's not as good as the first hand. It's definitely better than the second hand, because this hand there was a few more options you had to take. So this is Blot Dragon Burning Abyss. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see anything else, like I said. And I've also got another deck sort of in the making, where I've been testing it a lot recently, and I'm going to give you a little spoiler of it. So hopefully we can see something like this very soon. But hopefully you enjoyed again. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you want to see next. Take care, guys.